everyone, this is the 22nd learning material in the lecture series of programming in C language. This is our fourth module, the loop control statement, and subsection that we will be discussing is the for loop statement. Let's begin with the module. Friends, in our previous learning materials, we learned about the simple while loop in C language. Now we will move further and study about the for loop in C language. Let's see some points about the for loop statement. Like most languages, C uses the keyword for to implement the control loop instruction. It is most commonly used looping statement in C language. This statement includes three expressions in a single line, separated by the semicolon. An expression that specifies an initial value for an index, another expression that determines whether or not the loop is continued, and the third expression that allows the index to be modified at the end of each pass. After the for statement, the expressions that to be repeated are enclosed in the curly brackets and termed as the body of the for loop. Let's understand the flow and structure of the for loop statement. It is flexible, powerful, and the most common looping structure used in C. It is also useful for repetitive tasks. The flowchart of the for loop is illustrated in the figure. The general form or syntax is for in the opening and closing bracket, for expression 1, expression 2, expression 3. Where expression 1 is used to initiate some parameter that control looping action. Expression 2 represent a condition that must be true for the loop to be continue execution. Expression 3 is used to alter the value of parameter initially assigned by expression 1. So basically, expression 1 is an assignment statement, expression 2 is a logical statement, and expression 3 is a unary expression or assignment expression. When for statement is executed, expression 2 is evaluated and tested at the beginning of each pass through the loop, and expression 3 is evaluated at the top end of each pass. Thus, for statement is equivalent to the while loop statement. The looping action continues as long as value of expression 2 is true. It is stop testing loop like while loop. But while loops are used when the number of passes is not known in advance, and for loops are used when the number of passes are known in advance. Let's learn some way to use the for loop statement. Expression 1 is used to initialize the loop counter or an index that controls the looping action. Expression 2 represents a condition that must be true for the loop to continue execution. And expression 3 is used to alter the value of the parameter which is initially assigned by expression 1. After the keyword for and before the conditional statement, there must be a space bar entered. After the for statement, don't use the semicolon because in C language the meaning of semicolon is the end of the current line. Problem arises because in while statement after the conditional the next line is not mean as the new line, but it means the associated next line. Now let's actually get the hands down in the programming. For this entire section, we will be following some common outline. In this activity, programmer have the freedom to choose any of the apps from the downloaded two apps. Depending on the apps, there are two different outlines. For all the programs that we will be discussing in this section, the lines written in the red color will be the same and is necessary to write for each program. Only the black colored lines will be different and as per the requirement. We are going to discuss some example of the above discussed for loop statement. Here, let's see some example of the for loop statement. In the first example, we have initialized three integer type of location with name count, num, and mul. Then we have used the printf statement to ask the user to enter any number whose table we want to get. This number we have scanned from the memory location with name num. The desired multiplication table we are going to save in the memory location with name mul. Then to get the table of numbers, we put the for loop statement. Student, this is the same example we have seen for while loop statement. The only difference is here we are using the for loop instead of while. To understand the equivalency in the two statements, we can consider such examples. Inside for loop, we have used three expressions. Expression 1 is an assignment statement, so we have assigned the value to the counter as 1. The second expression is the logical or a test condition, that is count is less than equal to 10. And the third expression is the unary expression which will be evaluated in the last, that is count plus plus. Firstly, the expression 1 will be evaluated and the expression 2 will be checked. If the expression 2 will be true, then only the loop statement will be executed. Otherwise, the loop will be skipped. Here we require that 10 times the loop must be evaluated in order to get the table of a specific number. Since the test condition is count is less than equal to 10, for 10 times till count equal to 10, the loop statement will be executed. That is mul is equal to number into count. Each time the condition becomes true, the printf command inside the loop will be executed and the mul will be printed. Also, the counter will be incremented by 1 every time the condition becomes true. In this way, up to the value of count equal to 10, the loop statement will be executed. After that, it will come out of the loop. Consider the table of number 7. We can see that as we enter the input number as 7, we get the table in the format we have written in the printf statement inside the loop. Let's move on to the second example of for loop statement. In the second example, we have initialized one integer type of location with name r and 4 float type of location with name capital V, dv, vmax and l. We have also initialized the value of the memory location dv is equal to 0.2. Then we have used the printf statement to ask the user to enter the value of resistance and maximum voltage in ohms and volts. The value of resistance and voltages will be scanned from the memory location with name capital R and Vmax. Students, in this example, we want to print the values in the tabular form. So, for that, we may use a new line character \n and for spaces \t. Then we have used the for loop statement. In this particular example, we want to calculate the value of current for particular resistance and different voltage levels. So as input, we have asked the user to enter the value of resistance R and maximum voltage Vmax, up to which we want the value of current. Inside the for loop statement, we have used again the 3 standard expressions. Expression 1 is assignment statement, so we have assigned the value of voltage capital V as 0. The second expression is the logical or test condition, that is V less than equal to Vmax. And the third expression is the unary expression which will be evaluated in the last, that is V is equal to V plus dV. Firstly, the expression 1 will be evaluated and then expression 2 will be checked. If the expression 2 will be true, then only the loop statements will be executed, that is capital I is equal to V divided by float R. And then the value of I will be printed as many times as the loop will run. Each time the condition becomes true after the execution of the loop statement. When again the condition is tested, the value of voltage will be incremented by dV, that is 0.2. Consider the example where we have entered the value of capital R as 25 ohms and the value of maximum voltage as 5 volts. According to the for loop execution, we get the output in voltage and corresponding current values. Use the apps and IDs to write and run the program discussed in this section. Here we have finished the hands-on part of this subsection.